Starting live video.
Hey there, gang. Patrick King here, coming to you live from Misty Oaks Farm in Stanton, Virginia. We get a lot of questions about horses that are fidgeting in the cross ties and horses that aren't reliably standing tied. They want to fidget in the aisleway while they're being tacked up or while they're being groomed or things like that. So we thought we'd take a couple minutes and share some ideas with you that way. So Bigfoot here is joining me as a little demo horse for you. And one of the things that I find really helpful, if you've got a horse that has trouble fidgeting in the cross ties, don't take him to the ties until he's already done a little bit of work. That might seem obvious, but I can't tell you how many times that seems like a mind-blowing, earth-shattering revelation for a lot of folks. Get your horse ready to stand still so that you're not forcing the standing part. You're not struggling with the standing part. The standing tide becomes a bonus. He's done some work, he's put up a little bit of effort, he's moved his feet around, and now he's actually ready to stand still. That's when I would take him to the ties. So he starts to learn that being at the cross ties or the ground ties is a bonus rather than a chore. That in itself might help you and will definitely help your horse to think a little bit differently about tying. Now, another thing here, I've got the lead on the ground. When we're working on ground tying, anything that I do with our horse, when there's an opportunity for him to stand still, I'm going to let the belly of the rope touch the ground. The slack of the rope touch the ground. Now I've got a hold of the lead in case he were to move off. I could move him backwards or forwards or sideways or wherever I need to move him and put him back in place. And then again, let the belly of the rope, let the slack of the rope touch the ground. So I could go around him grooming in this position. My lead is plenty long enough that I could have it if I needed. I could even tuck it up in my belt if I needed to. So there's a spot where he got a little bit curious and went to move off. Now in this case, if a horse goes and steps on that lead rope like he did right there, I just kind of let them sort that out if I can help it. So as he goes to move around, I might back him up, kind of get the feet a little bit busy. I might back him up, I might move him forward. If your horse is fidgety enough, I might go outside and do a little bit of work in hand, a little bit of work on the ground, getting him more ready to stand still. That's the big piece we have to think about. He has to be ready for it. You can't force it. It has to be the bonus. So in this position here with the rope to the ground, I can come around him and do basically whatever I need to. I can make my corrections and then allow him to rest again. Too often in our general handling, we see handlers that'll hold choked up on the horse here. They never learn to stand as a responsibility then. They're always feeling like they're being micromanaged. If I wanted to cross tie him, if I were teaching him to cross tie, I might put the single tie on one side. It doesn't really matter what your halter is, if you've got the web halter or if you've got the rope halter like this. I'll start with a single tie, and this opposite end, maybe we'll say he's just learning to tie, but this opposite end I'll still hold as a loose support. I'm not going to put a horse in steady cross ties on both sides until they've proven to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that I can walk around them, I can groom, I can tack up with them basically ground tied before I'd go, like I say, before I'd go on to solid tying in the cross ties there. My next step from here, I might just loop my lead up through the tie ring, kind of mock tying as it is in that situation. And then we're not tied. He's not in the risk of pulling that tie out of the wall. I can get him fixed and situated if I need to. Again, to me, the horse has to prove that he's ready, willing, and able to stand quiet in the aisleway, in the ties, during whatever we're doing with him, before I'll commit hard and fast to cross ties. Another thing we think about, we want our horses light and sensitive with our work, right? With our bridle work, with our ground work, all of that. We want them light and sensitive. Sometimes your cross-cut ties can be adjusted so that they're constantly pulling on your horse. So that's something you want to take into account. Maybe your horse is just being annoyed because he's sensitive enough that standing in the ties is kind of pestering him. So again, anytime you have trouble with your horse fidgeting around in the ties, just go work with him a little bit. Get him more ready to be standing in the ties, and then you'll have a horse kind of like Bigfoot here that just wants to stand and relax because he learns that he's done a good job, he's done some work, and now he's allowed to rest in the aisleway here at the ties. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you found it helpful, please give the video a thumbs up, a comment, a like, or a share. If you've got some friends that might need this advice, please feel free to tag them in the comment section below the video or share the video directly with them. Thanks so much, gang.